Victoria Mboko shocks the tennis world. Eala upset, game-changing impact on WTA rankings. The crowd at the Victoria Park Tennis Stadium in Hong Kong could barely believe what they had witnessed. Under the dazzling nightlights and thick air of anticipation, a young Canadian named Victoria pulled off one of the most shocking upsets of the 2025 WTA season. Her victim, none other than Eala, the rising Filipina tennis prodigy, who had been blazing through the circuit with remarkable poise, consistency, and a spirit that made her one of Asia's brightest stars. The match, though just a round of 16 encounter, the Hong Kong Open, carried the energy of a Grand Slam showdown. It was more than just a battle. For quarterfinal placement, it was a collision of two next-generation forces, fighting for relevance, respect, and redemption. But as the final point landed wide from Ella's forehand, it was Boo who felt her knees in disbelief. Having achieved what many deemed impossible, this was not just an upset. It was a moment of transformation from Boo for Eala and for the WTA landscape as a whole, a clash of rising stars. Before the match began, tennis fans and analysts alike had their eyes set on Eala. The 20-year-old Filipina had built an impressive resume, 2 junior Grand Slam titles, multiple ITF crowns, and a string of consistent WTA 250 performances that had pushed her close to breaking into the top 40. Her game was disciplined, intelligent, and emotionally charged. Every swing of her racket carried purpose. Every point was a fight for her country's pride. Victoria Mboko, on the other hand, was still considered the underdog in development. At 18, the Canadian prodigy had shown sparks of brilliance, but hadn't yet found the rhythm to break into the upper echelons of women's tennis. Her powerful serve, athleticism, and aggressive baseline play were reminiscent of Serena Williams in her early years, raw, explosive, and fearless. But consistency had often been her downfall. That all changed in Hong Kong. The match, drama, defiance, and destiny. From the opening set, it was clear this was no ordinary contest. Eala started with her trademark precision, hitting deep corners and constructing points with surgical accuracy. She took an early 3-0 lead, her footwork sharp and her demeanor calm. The Filipino fans in the stands cheered, "Let's go, Alex," as the rhythm of the match seemed to fall perfectly in her hands. But Mboko had other plans. Down 0-3, the Canadians switched gears, attacking the net, taking Eala's time away and using her heavy topspin forehand to push the Filipina back. Behind the baseline, the momentum shifted dramatically. Book 1-5 of the next 6 games, forcing errors and breaking's rhythm entirely. She captured the first set 7-5 with a booming ace down the tee. The second set was an all-out war, a refusing surrender dug deep into her reserves. The rallies grew longer, the points more intense. Sweat dripped down both players' faces as each fought for every inch of court. At 4-4, with tension hanging thick in the air, Eala produced 2 stunning backhand winners to take a crucial break, and later sealed the set 6-4. The crowd erupted. It was now 1 set a piece, a final set for glory. The decider was pure drama. Eala's composure wavered slightly as Mboko's confidence soared. The Canadian serves grew more venomous, her forehand more ruthless. At 3-3, Mboko broke Eala's serve with a stunning cross-court return that left the Filipina frozen. From there, she never looked back. At 5-4, serving the match, Boo faced match point. Eala determined to fight till the end, save one with a brilliant drop shot. But on the second, Boo unleashed a forehand winner that painted the sideline. The crowd gasped. It was over. 6-4 in the final set. Victory to Victoria Boo. Tears, triumph, and the moment that defined them. As a final ball bounced away, Boo dropped her racket and covered her face. The emotion poured out. This was not just a win. It was validation. Every hour of training, every loss that taught her resilience, every doubt she had faced, it all came rushing back. Eala, ever the sportswoman, crossed a net and gave Boo a heartfelt hug. There was no bitterness, only mutual respect. She knew what it meant to fight from the shadows, to be doubted, to carve your name into the sport's future one match at a time. In that emotional embrace, two destinies intertwined, the shock waves through the WTA. The aftermath of the upset was immediate and seismic. Tennis media exploded with headlines. Boo's magic in Hong Kong, the Canadian teen who dethroned a star. Alex's streak snapped. WTA rankings set for a shakeup. Is Victoria Mboko the next big thing? The win propelled Mboko up the rankings, likely catapulting her into the top 60 for the first time for a player who had been grinding through qualifiers just months earlier. It was a career-changing leap. Meanwhile, Ella's loss meant a slight dip in ranking points, possibly dropping her a few places. But the real impact was not numerical. It was psychological. Every top-tier player must endure heartbreaks that test their resolve. For Eala, this was that moment, a painful but necessary lesson in the art of bouncing back stronger. A symbolic shift in women's tennis. Beyond the numbers and statistics, this match symbolized something greater. The new generation of women's tennis is defined not by predictable outcomes, but by fearless, ambitious players willing to defy expectations. Eala and Boo are the embodiment of that movement. Young, diverse, and emotionally raw competitors, redefining what it means to succeed in the modern WTA landscape. Represents discipline, balance, and maturity. Her game reflects her upbringing, a mix of Asian technical mastery and European training discipline. Mboko, meanwhile, embodies the future of North American tennis power. For Eala, the next step is reflection and recalibration. With the season nearing its close, she'll likely regroup with her coaching team, focusing on strengthening her serve and refining her mental endurance under pressure. She's still on track to become one of Asia's most successful tennis exports. Boo's journey, on the other hand, is just beginning. This Hong Kong triumph can mark the start of a true breakout. With newfound confidence, she'll head into the next tournaments with an entirely new aura. A player no one will underestimate again. A match that will be remembered when fans look back at the 2025 Hong Kong Open. They won't just remember the scoreline. They'll remember the emotion, the fight, and the symbolism. Two young women from vastly different backgrounds met under the bright lights and showed the world that the future of tennis is not only bright, it's global, fearless, and deeply human. Victoria Mboko's upset over Alex was more than a match result. It was a reminder that in the world of tennis, anything is possible. That belief, that spark is what keeps fans watching, dreaming, and believing in the next generation. As the lights dimmed that night in Hong Kong, one could almost feel the energy of change sweeping through the tennis universe. Eala will rise again. Boo will soar higher, and the WTA forever evolving just got a little more exciting, because sometimes one shocking victory can change everything. The night Victoria Boo shocked the world, in the game itself was never the same. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next